Hey guys, so this is part 2 of my consignment sale series, and this is going to be about my consignment sale tactic and how I go about the consignment sale just personally. So I'll start with as a consigner, and as a consigner I of course look to sell some of my better items, but I try to sell most everything. I think the biggest tactic goes into presentation and pricing. As far as presentation goes, I make sure that there's all the dog hair and cat hair off the clothes. I know it sounds so bad, but I wash them, of course I wash them, but just in transition from my house to the sale, they pick up little random hairs because we do go to the dog park a lot and stuff like that, so there's just hair just appears everywhere. So I take a lint roller. So that is probably a big tip of advice. Bring a lint roller, and as you're hanging your items up for inspection, lint roller them and make sure that they're clean. Something else that I think is really important in the presentation is ironing. So if you have a collared shirt, I mean I don't even know, I guess girls, if they had a bow, you'd want to iron the bow so that it looks nice and it wasn't all wadded up. With a collared shirt, make sure that the collar is straight and it's not folded funky or anything like that. Sorry about the alphabet going on in the background. So that's probably the best advice that I have as far as consigning goes. And then of course, as far as pricing goes, your items that you're consigning, price fair. Would you pay that much for that item? And I think that's the best question, because yes, I paid that much. I think Gage is in the window somewhere. Yes, I paid that much for it new. Maybe I paid $20 for this outfit brand new, but at a consignment sale, nobody's gonna spend $20 on any item of clothing unless it's a jacket or a snowsuit or a huge pack of clothes. But even at that, 20 bucks for any item is just, it's kind of too much. So you really have to think about it. Okay, it's been used, it's been worn, you've gotten your use out of it, and now you're just trying to turn it around and get something back to buy future items with. So be realistic. Say you paid $20 for it, maybe ask $9, something like that, maybe $8 or $9, depending on its condition. Our consignment sale is very, very strict on stains and anything like that. So if there's any blemishes to the clothing at all, they won't accept them, which is, as a shopper, it's good. As a consigner, it can be frustrating. Because it's I'd buy that if there's a tiny little itty bitty stain on the cuff of the pants. It's one of those things. So yeah, be fair with your pricing. So those are probably my best tips and tactics as far as consigning goes. The next part is shopping and buying, and oh, it's my favorite part of consignment sales because I get such a rush. It's like a mom rush because the deals that you can find are just unreal. So I get very excited about it. Anyways, I was asked a lot what my approach is with shopping and buying, and I'll share it with you. The top 3 consignment sale shopping must-haves will be in another video. I don't know what I'll name it, but so I won't talk too much about those because you'll have to watch that because it's actually 3 tangible things that I think that you need. But as far as actual strategy with shopping goes, Deacon is so loud. Make a list, and this is actually, okay, so this is part of my must-haves video, but you need to make a list, and you need to prioritize that list so that when you enter the consignment sale, you can, beeline to that item that you need the most, get it, and then move on to number 2, number 3. So you've got to prioritize your list. I have way too much thought goes into consignment sale shopping for me, but I just love it. I volunteer a lot of shifts so that I can shop much earlier. So that's another little strategy. You also get a higher percentage of the items that you're consigning if you volunteer. So I think if you're consigning, you just have to volunteer. Period. You get in earlier, you get a higher percentage back on your items. There's just so many benefits of volunteering that it's silly not to. And if you have kids and time's limited, you should talk to the owners of the consignment sale and see if they have, something alternative, an alternative shift that you can do. I often make meals and cook for the consignment sale. Okay, so back to strategy. So I go in and say, my number 1 item this consignment sale was jackets and snowsuits. And it always is in the winter because it's the things that I need the most. There's usually the fewest of them, that type of thing. So I pick out all the ones that I like. And this might be greedy, but Hey, we all have our own strategies. So I pulled out all of, like, this year it was all the 3T. I pulled out all the 3T snowsuits that I liked, that I thought were decent, and just I got a good first impression of. And then I had them all in my cart and was like, okay, so, you know, which one do I like out of these? Because I have them all in my possession, which one do I want? And I compare prices and, you know, value, quality, that type of thing, and then I pick from there, and I have my snowsuit. So that's done. And then I'll move on to my next thing, which is clothing, because for me, toys is great, but there's just so many toys that it's like, you know, I don't feel like the rush to go get toys. Hopefully I'm still in focus. This camera gets so easily out of focus, so I'm sorry if I'm super out of focus. Okay, hopefully that's better, I don't know. But anyway, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to clothing, and I go through and I pick out everything that's reasonably priced and that's nice quality and things that I like. And then I take them over to the decision zone, or I just set up camp at a table somewhere, or just whatever it may be, and I go through everything, and I have a yes pile, a maybe pile, and a no pile. So everything that's like overpriced or something that I don't like, no pile. Something that's kind of middle of the road, I like it, I don't have to have it, maybe pile. And then everything I love, that's a great deal. Everything else, it goes in the yes pile. So I have got my 3 piles, and then I go take all my no's back. And then I go through my maybes, and I have a yes pile and a no pile for my maybes, and then I take back those no's. And then I go through it all again. This is ridiculous. I sound like a crazy person. I go through it all again, and I decide, okay, what's a good deal? What's awesome? I look through all the clothing to make sure it's all good, and I take back any more no's, and then I've got my yeses. So then I move on to the next item on my list. And as far as shopping for the boys, because I have one in 3T and one in 12 months, I do 3T first, because there's fewer 3T items than there are 12-month items. So with the boys, I always shop, you know, my older son Deacon first, and then move on to my younger son. As far as toys go, if there's multiples of toys, I look through to see which one is the cheapest. This sale, for example, I got a xylophone, and I looked through all the xylophones, and I figured one of the ones out of the boxes, because you can often find new things, I figured one of the ones out of the boxes would be the cheapest, but the one in the box was $4. All the other ones were like $7, so I got one for brand new for $4. So definitely look at all the prices and test it out if you can. Let's see, what else? I think that's pretty much it. Do I have any other? Yeah, I think that's it. So if you have any other questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.